Good morning, students. Today we will see about the management of nursing service and education, Unit 1, that is in the introduction to the management. Definition: administration is the organization and directions the human and material resources to achieve desired ends. And administration has to do with the getting things done with the accomplishment of defined objectives, whereas the management may be defined as an art of securing maximum results with a minimum of effort so as to secure maximum prosperity and happiness for both employer and employee and give them public the best possible service. Management is a distinct process of consisting of planning, organizing, activating and controlling performed to determine accomplished objectives by the use of people and resources. Management theories. The current management practice has evolved from earlier theories. Management practice were actually a part of governance in the ancient times. Most of the current understanding of management, however, is based on the classical theories of management that were introduced in 80s during the industrial age. The first one is classical management theory. It is the oldest theory and sometimes referred to as a traditional management theory. The classical perspective includes three subfields of management, that is scientific management, bureaucratic management, and administrative management. Scientific management theory. In this theory, the focus is on the goals and productivity. The organization is viewed as a machine, so the rule effectively to increase the production. The managers must be closely supervise the work to assure maximum efficiency. The workers must have proper tools and equipments. There is a focus on training the workers to work more efficiently and performance incentives are used. Time and motion studies are the vehicle for determining how to do and organize the work in the most efficient manner. Bureaucratic management theory. The focus of this theory is to superior subordinate communication transmitted from top to bottom via a clear chain of command, a hierarchy of authority and division of labor chain. In this theory, use rational and impersonal management process here. There are explicit rules and regulations for the governing activities, focusing on exacting the work processes and technical competence. There is a use of merit and skill as the basis for promotion or reward. The emphasis is given on lifetime career service and salaried managers. The third one was that administrative management theory. Here the focus is on the science of management and principles of organization applicable in any setting and defined in the POSCOP, where the P stands for planning, O for organization, S for staffing, D for directing, CO for coordination, R for reporting and B for budgeting. It is mainly concerned with the optimal approach for administrators to achieve economic efficiency. Relation management theory. In this theory, the focus is on empowerment of individual workers as a source of control, motivation, and productivity in the organization. The Hawthorne studies led to the belief that human relations between workers and managers and among the workers were the main determinants of efficiency. The Hawthorne effect refers to the phenomena of how being observed or studied result in a change of behavior. This theory also emphasizes on participatory decision making, which increases the workers' autonomy. It also lays emphasis on training of the employees to improve the work. Management administration. These two words are slightly similar and can employ interchangeably. Management refers to a private sector, whereas the administration refers to a public sector. Management or administration is a process of exceeding the goal expected. So here is the sum of the difference between the administration and management in the form of nature of work, sorry, type of function, scope, level of authority, nature of status, nature of usage, decision making, main functions and abilities. The principles of management. The first one is division of work. It applies to all kind of work, managerial as well as technical. It is the principle of specialization. Second is authority, responsibility and accountability. For all held and authority flows from the responsibility. Third one is discipline. Members of the organizations are required to perform their function and conduct themselves in a relation to others according to the rules, norms, and customs. Unity of command. This principle holds that one employee should have only one boss and receive instructions from one the same only. The fifth one is unity of directions. This means that all managerial and operational activities which relate to a distinct group with the same objective should be directed by the one group and one plan. Subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. The interest of an organization is above the interest of the individual and the group. Example, it can be achieved only when the managers in the high position, the organization is an example of honesty, integrity, fairness, and justice. Remuneration and of the personnel. Employees should pay it fairly and equitably according to the job and differentiation. The eighth one is centralization and ninth one is clear chain of command. Five all explain as superiors and subordinates running throughout the organizations from top to bottom. Order means the right person on the right job and everything in the proper place. Equity means that all subordinates should be treated with justice and kindness. Stability of tenure of personnel. The managerial policies should provide a sense of responsible job security. Initiative. It focuses on ability, attitude, and resourcefulness to act without prompting from others. Managers should create an environment which encourages their subordinates to take initiative and responsibility. Esprit de corps. Cohesiveness and team spirit should be encouraged among the employees. Other principles are the coordinative principle, scalar principle, and the functional principle. The functions of management. Usually, the actions of manager is planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling are referred to the management in literature as the functions of management process. Scholars in the field of management have their own functions of management. Some scholars add few functions and some delete some and other functions. It is the important functions of management. The Professor Luther Gulick summed up certain principles or elements or functions in the word PODSCORP. The P stands for planning, that is working out a broad outline. O stands for organizing, that is the establishment of formal structure of authority through which the work of subdivisions are arranged, defined, and coordinated for the defined objectives. S stands for staffing, that is the all personal function of bringing and training the staff and maintaining favorable conditions of work. D stands for directing, that is the continuous task of making decisions and embodying them in specific general orders and instructions and serving as a leader of enterprise. CO stands for coordinating, that's all important duty of interrelating the various parts of the work and eliminating overlapping and conflict. R stands for reporting, that is keeping those to whom executive is responsible informed as to what is going on, which thus includes keeping himself and his subordinates informed through records, research, and inspection. B stands for budgeting, with all that goes with budgeting in the form of fiscal planning, accounting, and control. Other functions are motivating or actually controlling, innovation, representation, decision making, and communication. Planning. Planning means to decide in advance what is to be done. It charts a course of actions for the future. It is an intellectual process and aims in the coordinated, consistent set of operations aimed at desired objective. Essential of good planning is to responsible organizational objectives and develop alternatives, helps to eliminate and reduce future uncertainty, helps to gain economical operations, lays the foundation for organizing, facilitating coordination, helps to facilitate control, dictate those activities to which the employer is directed. Organizing. Once the objectives have been established through the planning, management concern must be turned to develop an organization that is capable of carrying out them. The management functions of organization can be defined as relating people and things to each other in such a way that they are all combined and interrelated to a unit capable of being directed toward the organized objectives. The formal principles of organization depend upon two basic principles. First one is responsibility and second one is authority. Staffing. Staffing is a selection, training, motivating, and retaining of the personnel in the organization. Before selection, we have to make analysis of the particular job which is required in the organization. So, manpower planning involves following steps, that is scrutiny of present personnel strength, anticipation of manpower needs, investigation of turnover of personnel, planning for job requirement and job descriptions. Directing. Directing means in issuance of orders, assignments, and instructions that permit the subordinate to understand what is expected of him and guidance and overseeing of the subordinate so that he can contribute effectively and efficiently to the attainment of organizational objectives. Giving orders. The directing can be done by giving orders, making supervision, leading, motivating, and communicating. Giving orders under task is directing in the giving orders. The order is then technical means through which a subordinate understands what is to be done. To facilitate this, there are certain characteristics of good orders which manners the manager should be aware of. Order should be clear, concise, order should be based on obvious demands of particular situation. Tone of order is very important. Whenever possible, the reason for the order should be given. In some instances, manager use delegation of authority instead of issuance of orders for avoiding too many specific orders. Second is supervision. Supervision is the activity of management that is concerned with the training and discipline of the workforce. Supervision is the act of overseeing, watching, and directing with authority the work and the behavior of others. Leading or leadership is the ability to inspire and influence others to contribute to attainment of the objectives. Successful leadership is a result of interaction between leader and his subordinates in a particular organization situation. There are a number of styles of leadership that been identified: autocratic, democratic, participatory leadership. Motivation refers to the way in which the needs control, direct, or explain or behavior of human beings. Then communication is the passing of information and understanding from the sender to the receiver. Then the next one is the coordinating. It's an act of synchronizing people and activities so that they function smoothly in the attainment of organizational objectives. Basic approach to the coordinations are corrective coordinations are those coordinate activate that rectify the present error or correct a dysfunction in the organization. Regulatory coordination comprise those coordinative activities that are aimed at the maintenance of existing structural and functional arrangement. Promotive coordinations are those coordinative activities that are aimed at improve the articulation of parts of organization. Controlling. Steps of controlling can be defined as regulation of activities in accordance with the requirements of the plan. Steps of control are the establishment of standards, measuring of the performance, comparing the actual result with the standards, correcting deviations from the standards. Then reporting and recording. Reports are the oral or written exchange of information shared between the caregivers or workers in a number of ways. A report summarizes service to a person, personnel, and the agency. Budgeting. Budgeting through primarily recognized as the device for controlling becoming a major part of planning process in any organization. It is expressed in financial terms and based on expected income and expenditure. Budget is the heart of administrative management. It serves as a powerful tool of coordination negatively as an effective device of eliminating duplicating wastage. Role of a nurse as a manager. The nurses who serve the management positions are expected not only to make vital decisions to assist in the patient care, but are also expected to carry out defined duties such as staff management, case management, treatment planning, recruitment, budgeting, scheduling, discharge planning, mentoring, developing educational plan, records management. Nurse managers need strong communication and leadership skill. They should be adept at coordinating resources. They must be effective leaders who can strike the balance between working with the nursing staff and with the healthcare facility administrator. Nurse managers can the change agents. They work with the staff to find and implement useful changes. Nurse managers also implement regulatory guidelines for patient safety. They have to make sure the staff is educated on the care standards and can implement them as needed. Traits of a successful nurse manager include working nurse as a manager requires skills beyond clinical care. The job requires management skills, budgeting, business acumen, and leadership qualities. The following are some of the categories. The first one is effective communication skill, advocacy, participation, mentoring, maturity, professionalism, supporting. Thank you for listening.